Hi, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. It is Sunshine Lorena, and today I'm coming at you with my 5-star predictions for 2022. So guys, yes, like I said, this is going to be my 5-star predictions for 2022, or at least a selection of 5-star predictions for 2022. I kind of want to do them in stages throughout 2022. So then that way I actually read them. So I'll read them all. They'll be in vlogs. I'm not too sure how to do it, but I might do, since I'm doing my weekly vlogs, I might do like a week where I read a couple of these. Let's see how it works out, and then once I've done it all, I'll see if I'm right or wrong, and then I can do another set. That way I do actually read the books. And just before I start on these, I just want to say hi to all the new subscribers. Today, for some reason, I just checked a couple times my analytics, because I have, I'm doing these daily Vlogmas, Bookmas videos, and I was just checking on my upload, etc., making sure everything was in order. And yeah, my numbers have jumped up a few times today, so I assume people are here because there's all this new content coming out, and if you are, like, welcome, thank you for subscribing. Thank you to everyone who subscribes and watches. I really, really appreciate it. And yes, let's hope that we just keep on growing and I keep on providing you guys with some really, really great content. So yes, first of all, you can't really see my jumper today. I've not really done a good setup, but I think I've had this one on one day before, and you can see my little snowman. So we're keeping up with the Christmassiness, and I don't know how well you can see it, but I have a Christmas scrunchie in. It has Minnie Mouse with a Christmas hat. Mickey Mouse, sorry, not Minnie Mouse. And I think there's like trees or something on this one. The other one has candy canes on it. So yes, anyway, let's just get into the 5-star predictions, guys. Okay, so first up is Kintu, and that is by Jennifer Nansaboga Makumbi. So this one, I have never ever seen anyone speak about it. This was a while ago. I picked it up. There's a independent bookshop here where I live, and they sell books for £3. All the books in there are £3 each. They used to, pre-pandemic, I think you used to get like 2 for £5. They used to do some offers, which pandemic they stopped doing that, but I totally get it because they had to be closed for a while in their independent shop, and £3 is still pretty great for a book. The thing is, with the books there, you do get some classics and you do come across some well-known ones, but it's a very random selection of books, and you never know what you're going to get when you go in there. I absolutely love that shop. I've not been in ages. I'm trying to stay away from the bookshops because I will find books to buy, so best thing is to stay away. But I picked this one up. I find that basically when I go in there in the books I see, if you know a box of stories who, like, it's a subscription service who, they're saving books from being like pulped, just because they haven't sold so well, they haven't had great advertising, so people haven't really known about them. That bookshop feels like a box of stories, is the best way to describe it, because there's books in there that I've never really seen around, not seen people speak about it, so it kind of feels like they're ones that aren't really popular, but they just haven't been given a chance by people. It's not that they're not good books, they just haven't had that same chance as, like, say, a Stephen King book, because like everyone goes crazy for them. I like Stephen King as well. He's really popular. He has all the advertising, all the money gets thrown into making sure that his book gets out there and sold, but not everyone gets that. So anyway, it's called The Last Bookshop if you did ever want to look them up. But this book, I want to give it a 5-star prediction. It sounds incredible. I'm going to give you the premises now, but it sounds really, really good. Like, I'm really, really going to love and enjoy it. And I have these good vibes. Sometimes when I read like a synopsis, you just get those good vibes. And it's just a shame that not that many people are out there. Actually, I really should check Goodreads, and I'll let you know actually how many reviews are up there. Yeah, let me do that. Okay, Goodreads seems to be having a moment. I tried with my Wi-Fi, I've tried with my own mobile phone data, and yeah, it won't load on my phone. It's saying like it'll be back in a moment, etc. So they're having a moment, so we can double check, but I know that it was definitely less than 500 when I checked way back when. It might be even around 300. Editing me, check, and put it on screen here now. Okay, anyway, so this book is written by a Ugandan author, so it's set in Uganda, and I haven't read that many books actually written by African authors or set in Africa, and I think I really want to expand where the books I read are set and who the places that the authors are from who write them. That was really a big mouthful. So this kind of ticks off that box for me. I definitely want to expand my worldview essentially, because yeah, it's always a lot of British and American authors basically that we end up picking up because they're the ones that get the money thrown at them. So yeah, definitely want to explore the wider reading world. Anyway, in this one, it's an epic tale of fate, fortune and legacy. Jennifer Makumbi vibrantly brings to life this corner of Africa and this colourful family as she reimagines the history of Uganda through the cursed bloodline of the Kintu clan. The year is 1750. Kintu Kita sets out for the capital to pledge allegiance to the new leader of the Buganda kingdom. Along the way, he unleashes a curse that will plague his family for generations. Blending oral tradition, myth, folk tale, and history, Makumbi weaves together the stories of Kintu's descendants as they seek to break free from the burden of their past to produce a majestic tale of clan and country, a modern classic. Yes, that premise sounds really, really great. It reminds me, I read last year Homegoing by Gaezi, and it was a multi-generation one that went down through the generations, and I absolutely loved that. So I do love these stories that kind of travel down generations, and I love the fact that it's going to be mixing a blend of different oral traditions, folk tales, myths, etc., and it's going to weave it all together, and it sounds absolutely fantastic and amazing. Then the next one I have is The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goss. I got this given to me by Bookish Secret Santa, so thank you very much. It has been on my wish list for like over a year. I first heard Meg with Books talk about it and she absolutely loves the series. And yeah, I don't know, the premise, the way that she also described it as well, because I feel like the synopsis is good, but actually hear somebody who's read it, it really kind of gave that extra something for me. But I have really high hopes for this. It is a series, so I don't read that many series, and I really want to read more and get into them. So just a quick kind of summarise of the synopsis. This follows Mary Jekyll. She's alone and penniless following her parents' death and quickly finds herself drawn into the secrets of her father's mysterious past. A clue leads her to believe that Edward Hyde, her father's former friend and murderer, may be nearby, and there's still a reward for information resulting in his capture, a reward that would solve all her immediate financial woes. But her hand brings her not to Edward Hyde, but to Diana, his daughter, a near feral child left to be raised by nuns. With the assistance of Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson, Mary continues her search for elusive Hyde and soon gathers around her more women, all of whom have been created through terrifying experimentation: Beatrice Rappaccini, Catherine Moreno, and Justine Frankenstein. When their investigations lead them to the discovery of a secret society of immoral and power-crazed scientists, the horrors of their past soon arrive on their doorstep as well. And now it's up to the 5 women to stop the malicious machinations of the Société des Alchemistes. That was really bad pronunciation. Quite simply, it's time for the monsters to triumph over the monstrous. That was such a bad pronunciation of the Society of Alchemists, basically. I don't speak French, so sorry. I apologise for butchering that because I 100% did. And this, from watching Meg speak about this one, because it doesn't really say there, it's like, I mean, they are really like almost like a girl group of like this. They're a girl group kind of solving crimes, but like the way it's told, they apparently like cut into each other, like, no, it didn't happen like that, and like they're having like also this bit of dialogue whilst telling you the story of the case, and it just sounds really, really fun. So I cannot wait to get to it. Yes, it's just fun. It's, you know, it's gonna switch up from reading the more heavier books that I have that I want to read, that I need to get through on my shelves. So yes, that'll be really, really fun, and yes, hopefully a 5-star prediction. I then have Ruth Ware's The Turn of the Key. So I haven't read any books by Ruth Ware, but I know she is a really, really big thriller writer. And this is the one that people talk about the most, and people seem to absolutely love this thriller. Which is kind of why it's put up on my radar. There's not many thrillers that reach 5 stars for me, but there are a few, and this one definitely sounds like it could be one of those. I know it's set in a smart house. I will read the synopsis in a moment, but I know it's like a smart house that it takes place in, and also it's supposed to be a retelling of Turn of the Screw, or at least elements of it's based upon Turn of the Screw, because it does involve a nanny in this rather than a governance, because governance. So yes, so I'm gonna read the synopsis for you. So when Rowan comes across the advert, it seems too good to be true. A live-in nanny position with an extremely generous salary. What she doesn't know is that she's stepping into a nightmare, one that will end with the child dead and her in a cell awaiting trial for murder. She knows she's made mistakes, but she's not guilty, at least not of murder, which means someone else is. And I love that synopsis is so short, because sometimes I feel like thriller synopsis give slightly too many details, and if they didn't tell you, it would have made it a little bit more better, like more surprising. But yes, like I said, I know it's set in a smart house apparently, and like I said, lots of people who read thrillers absolutely love this one. So I have high hopes. You know, I want to have more 5-star thrillers, because when I get them, they are always so amazing. So I really hope that these twists are super shocking, and like I said, it's one that I always see those 5-star predictions. So yes, excellent. So the next one is Before the Coffee Gets Cold, Tales from the Cafe. This is the second in the series. I read the first one in summer 2020. It was 4 stars for me. I really, really enjoyed it, but I have this feeling this one's gonna be better. I don't know, because like when I read series, sometimes more often than not, the second in the series for me is a 5-star. Sometimes the first ones are 5 stars. But yes, sometimes it's like that next book, you're already kind of aware of what's going on, you already start to know the characters. So I have high hopes for this one. So in this one, there's a cafe which you can go and time travel. Now, it's not something that everyone knows, and there are certain rules. You have to sit in a specific seat to be able to time travel, and you have to come back before your coffee gets cold. So there's only a certain period of time that it takes for your coffee to get cold you're allowed to travel to. The other thing is, you can only time travel kind of within the cafe. So if you want to specifically see someone, they had to have been to the cafe for you to be able to time travel and see them. Make sense? I hope so. I hope that makes sense. But yes, in the first one, there was 4 different stories. So you saw 4 different people's reasons for time traveling, what happened when they did time travel. It really touched on like real emotions, real stories, and it was really interesting to see how the reasons for time traveling, what they were, how that panned out, how it affected them, as people. Really hard to say without giving too much away. It was also quite short. This one is as well, and I do like a quick one. I think you can read these in pretty much in a day. If you had a whole entire day just to read, I'd be able to get it done. But this one, on the back of it says, every now and then a customer like Gotaro would come to the cafe after hearing the rumour that you could travel back in time. Are you familiar with the rules? Kazu asked briefly. There are customers who rolled up at the cafe with no idea of them. More or less, he replied hesitantly. More or less, Kyoto shouted. Gotaro struggled apologetically. You sit in a chair, someone makes you coffee, and you return to the past. That's all I've heard. So that's obviously all one of the stories in this. I assume that there is 4 again. But yes, it was really fun and really interesting to see how they all panned out. So I've got high hopes for this one that is going to be 5 stars. And then last but not least of the 5-star prediction is The Lying Life of Adults by Elena Ferranti. This one came out, I think it was November 2020, at least in English. That's when the translated version came out. She's an Italian author, if you don't know, but no one knows who she is. There's this whole like mystery surrounding her, which I love the fact that no one knows who she is. So her works speak for themselves. She writes literary fiction and it's always set in Italy. So I read the Neapolitan Quartet series. I started it in 2020 and finished it in 2021. I absolutely love that series. I love those characters. It's set in Naples. I love how she describes everything. It's just amazing, incredible. And then I read The Lost Daughter in November by her, and I did have high hopes for it. I still gave it like 4 stars, but I thought it was going to be 5 stars. It wasn't. But that one was shorter and it was different from Neapolitan Quartet. It wasn't set in Naples or had anything to do with Naples, whereas this one, I'm going to read this synopsis in a moment, but this one is back in Naples and it's that push and pull of these 2 different worlds, and it gives me that feeling that I'm gonna get it with the Neapolitan Quartet, like My Brilliant Friend, like the whole series. I feel like I'm getting those vibes from it. And whilst all 4 books weren't 5 stars for me, the favourite one was The Story of a New Name, my favourite. But they were all at least 4 stars. And I have high hopes. I have high hopes. It's different characters. And her writing's just amazing and incredible. So in this one, it says, 2 years before leaving home, my father said to my mother that I was very ugly. Giovanna's pretty face has changed. It's turning to the face of ugly, spiteful adolescent. But is she seeing things as they really are? Where must she look to find her true reflection and a life she can claim as her own? Giovanna's search leads her to 2 kindred cities that fear and detest one another. The Naples of the Heights, which assumes a mask of refinement, and the Naples of the Depths, a place of excess and vulgarity. Adrift, she facilitates between the 2 cities, falling into one then climbing back into another, but neither seems to offer her any answers. The powerful new novel set in divided Naples by best-selling author Elena Ferrante is a singular portrayal of the transition from childhood to adolescent to adulthood. Yes, so that, like I said, it's giving me My Brilliant Friend, the Neapolitan Quartet vibes, because in that series you followed them from childhood through their teenage years into adulthood as well, which this one is apparently doing that as well. And within the other one, you very much saw the 2 kind of different sides of Naples as well. Maybe not as much as this one is going to show, but I have really, really high hopes and I'm hoping it's a 5 star. So that's all of my predictions for 2022, the 5 star ones for the moment, guys. Like I said, this is basically a part 1, because I'll read those, we'll see how right I was, and then I'll do some more. So yes, let me know if you've read any of these, or were there 5 stars for you, or what your next 5 star prediction is. Thank you very much for watching. I am posting videos every day up until Christmas, and otherwise I usually post on Wednesdays and Sundays. Yes, why am I forgetting days? Between Wednesdays and Sundays, sorry. And yes, thank you very much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, and I will hopefully see you in the one that is tomorrow, guys. Bye.